What is going down, guys? My name is TetraNinja and I am back for another weapons face-off video. And if you're new to the series, I have already done the FAMAS versus the AUG or AUG, as well as the MP5K versus the AK-74U. And obviously by the title, we're doing the M16 versus G11 today. And these two weapons, or these sets of weapons, are probably the most different from all the weapon comparisons I'm going to do. So let's get right onto it and take a look at their individual stats. And as you can see, the M16 has a higher damage rate of 40 to 30, but has a much lower fire rate at 450 RPMs, and you get less ammo at 90 rounds. Mag size is a standard 30, obviously with extended mags that becomes 45. And the reload time is just a little bit faster at 2.03 to 2.36 on empty. So although the G11 has a slightly lower damage rate at 35 to 25, it has a much faster fire rate. As you can see, the RPMs is 525 and you get more ammo with it at 144 rounds. And the mag size is a lot larger, almost if you got free extended mags at 48 rounds, but it does reload a little bit slower at 2.7 to 3.85 on empty. And just to reinforce how much faster the G11 fires, as you can see, the fire time on the M16 is 0.064, whereas with the G11's case, it's a lot lower at only 0.048. And as you can see from this diagram, the iron sights on the M16 has not changed since Call of Duty 4 days. To me, they've always been a little bit obstructed, so I always run a red dot sight with them. And the G11 actually has almost the exact same iron sights as the FAMAS and the AUG or the AUG. And like I did in the last video, I'll explain what recoil is once again. Recoil is the area within 4 points and the random chance of the weapon kicking anywhere within that area. The recoil causes the player's view to travel in that direction, so a higher number ultimately means more recoil. And the kick always focuses on the average between the points, so if a weapon has a kick left of 10 and a right of 60, then in most cases, like the G11, it'll kick to the right. I find this is not that big of a deal in the 3-burst assault rifles. As you can see, the M16s are a little bit more balanced, but because they are 3-burst assault rifles, you will most likely be firing them in controlled burst, so you'll be waiting every single time for the reticle to reset. So even though they are very, very different, I find that it's almost unnoticeable between these two, just because, like I said, they are 3-burst assault rifles. And the next stat that really separates these two weapons are their hip spread, and the G11 is actually the only assault rifle with submachine gun hip fire capability. And what hip spread is determined by a minimum and maximum cone of fire in degrees from the center of the screen or your reticule. And if you throw steady aim on, that just reduces your reticule by 65%. And as you can see from this diagram, the hip fire rate of the G11 standing is 2 to 5, crouch it's 1.74 to 4.5, and prone it's 1.5 to 4. So like I said, the exact same stats as a submachine gun. And in comparison, the M16 has a standard standing of 3 to 7, crouch 2.5 to 7, and prone 2 to 5. And I'll do a quick video demonstration of what exactly these stats lead to. And both these guns, both the M16 and G11, have no attachments. Both are equipped with steady aim, and I'm doing slow controlled bursts with both of them. And as you can see, starting from the top all the way to the bottom, the bullet grouping on the G11 side is a lot more tighter, so the bullets stay a lot more in the center. And although this may not seem like a big factor, you'll see a little bit later in the gameplay what exactly this leads to. And it's a pretty big difference between the two. So in my comparison, the G11 probably could do without this stat just to make it a little bit more balanced. But let's move right on. In terms of perks, I generally stick with these two sets, these areas highlighted in the yellow box. With the M16, I stick with the hardline, sleight of hand, and ninja, but a lot of people like using hardened just because it's a precision assault rifle. So if you engage a person one-on-one, they like the reduced flinch of hardened pro. And with the G11, I stick with the steady aim just because of the big mag size at 48 rounds. You won't be reloading a lot. As well, you don't need to ADS with steady aim, as you're going to see a little bit later. So steady aim is your best bet. But as well, you could use the sleight of hand if you're a little bit OCD about your reloading, which I am as well. well. I reload all the time, even unnecessarily. And let's move right on to weapon attachments. And as you can see, you don't have that much variety. Like I said earlier, I have never liked the iron sights on the M16 since the COD 4 days, so I usually go with a sight, either red dot sight, reflex sight, and increasingly I've actually seen a lot of people using the ACOG sight on this weapon online. Personally myself, I go with the red dot sight, but the only difference between the red dot sight and the reflex sight is that the reflex zooms in a little bit more, but you sacrifice a little bit more obstruction on the outer ring, and the ACOG sight just zooms in a whole lot more. And with the G11's case, although there are 2 attachments for it, I highly suggest that you don't touch them at all. I just go with a naked weapon. The power scope and the variable zoom are terrible in my opinion. So let's get into a gameplay right here, a free-for-all on the map Nuketown. My setup is the one that I told you guys I prefer, the hardline, the steady aim, and the ninja. And to illustrate a point, I'm actually going to play this entire game hip firing, and I'm going to demonstrate how deadly the hip fire is on this weapon with a steady aim. So after I kill this first guy, check out the range of this weapon on this second guy. I 2-bursted him from fairly far away, and in my opinion, you really shouldn't be able to do that with an assault rifle, but that's just me. So the submachine gun hip fire rate is what really throws this weapon over the top in my opinion. And a lot of you guys are asking me, well, what would you prefer, the M16 or the G11? The G11 is overall a better weapon, has a faster fire rate, has a larger mag size, and you get more ammo with it. But the problem with this weapon is it's the classified weapon, so you actually have to unlock all the other assault rifles before you can purchase this one. And in my opinion, just because I think the last weapon you can unlock is the Commando at 44, at level 44. If you do plan on continuing to prestige, then it really isn't worth it at all. Personally, I don't hip fire that much. I usually just aim down sight. I just did this video as a demonstration. And because you have to unlock all the other weapons and pay a whole lot of money for them, if you plan on prestiging again, then just go with the M16. The difference isn't that bad. You really won't be hip firing all the time like I am in this game. I'm just, like I said, doing it as a demonstration. So if you plan on prestiging again, go with the M16. But if you're done prestiging, then obviously go with the G11. So yeah, the gameplay is about to wrap up right here. Once again, I bring you guys some puppy vision so you guys can follow my dogs along as they massacre people, just because people find this a little bit more entertaining to watch. So yeah, the gameplay is about to wrap up. The final score is a flawless 30-0 with only hip firing and 1 claymore kill, I think. So if you guys enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you guys give it a quick thumbs up. As you can see, it does take a lot more effort than your typical Black Ops video that you're going to be seeing online. And I encourage you guys to stay with the series. Next up is the AK-47 versus Commando. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for Mishima for letting me post. And I will see you guys, as always, next time. Peace.